Hello, everybody. I am the CEO of iArcade, and you are watching the best show in the world, Retro Buzz. Let's go.
Hey guys, it's Friday, so it's time for the Retro Buzz, and we've got an interesting show for you here today because we don't know what we're going to talk about. No, I'm just kidding, but we are going to talk about this guy. We've got Mr. Glenn Planamento.
Wait, I thought we were doing a whole show about the Microvision.
You know, you were telling me we're going to talk about Pong, and then this guy over here, he's like, I don't know, we could talk about pinball. I got like 6 tables, you know. So
yeah, it has become an issue. Yeah.
So I'm sitting here going, okay, and then we brought these guys back on, and they're like, "What do you guys want to talk about?"
Yep, the Amico, only the Amico.
Well, I thought you said the Atari cabinet. Oh no, the Pong table,
Amico only.
Oh, okay. Well,
just kidding.
At least Glenn.
I still vote
I do want to play the Pong
Microvision.
table.
Yeah, no, I'm down for that too. That looks good. Pong table. Does it have 4 cup holders in it? It might jest.
Doug
No, it
does have
doesn't, but
4.
it's got 4 spinners. So,
Oh,
and then you
got
can
4
put a
letters.
GRF
4 cup
spinner.
holders, you know, make it real classy with some plastic cup holders dangling off the end. I mean,
Heck
that'll really spruce it up nicely.
Cup holders
You know
are
what you need?
important.
No, it needs an ashtray. If we're gonna make it right for the era, you need a stinking, rotten, beer-soaked ashtray all over that thing.
Let me see if I can
I'm sure
pull it
that'll
up
hold
here.
up real well on that cabinet.
Let me see here. Ah, here it is. Here it
They
is.
make them as strong as the originals.
Yep.
So we've got
There it
the
is.
we've got the Pong table. So we touched on this
That
a little bit
Tempest
last
one
week.
looks so good though.
It does.
I mean, I don't know the dimensions of this base, but if anything needed the mini fridge mod, it's this one.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Over the
you need
ashtray?
those beers on the ready right there. I mean, it's got pub in the name, so.
Yeah, beer pong.
Sure.
Beer pong. It's right there.
Well, either way, we're going to talk about some of these cabinets because I want to talk to Doug on something. I just picked up the Big Buck World cabinet this last week. Walmart had it for $450, and I know a lot of people were screaming because that's the version they wanted, and they bought it at $550, and so I jumped at it. I told Doug before, I said, I am not buying it for $550. I waited. Fortunately, it came down. But I noticed on a few of these, there's a glitch when the deer comes out and he runs. It like kind of hangs. Daniel and I had it happen to us 5 times yesterday. Did you have that problem?
Yes and no. So what I've experienced is every so often, very infrequently, it'd be like a frame rate drop
Right.
is what I'd call it. And it really only lasts like a
Yeah,
second and then it catches up.
It is. It's a split second, but it's enough that, like, especially since he likes to cheat, Daniel, when he sees the buck coming out, he'll start, we have it on easy. So you just like rapid firing on it. But it glitches right in the front of the screen. And it causes you, if a doe jumps out, it causes you to shoot a doe. So is that something?
I can't believe you guys are talking about this, both of you guys. When you talk about this cabinet, you're not talking about Kong's review. Kong's wife did a fantastic review of the Big Buck Hunter. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait. Do you know why?
Oh, yeah.
Because Kong redid the machine to make it work better.
His wife was there, that's all I cared about.
Oh boy.
Man.
Well, do we know?
Yeah.
Do we know if Arcade 1-Up, Doug, is gonna address this? Is there gonna be like side-loaded firmware or anything to address that?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, to me, it's not so much of a glitch as just part of the experience. It's been forever since that. No, I mean that in the most sincere way. Like it's not what I would consider a flaw or something that's significant that needs a firmware update. At least in my experience, because it doesn't happen frequently enough. and it really doesn't affect the gameplay overall. Like it's to me, it literally happens maybe 1 out of every 15 rounds. And like I said, it only happens for a split second. And it really wouldn't be a video game if you didn't have that moment where you got to blame your own inadequacies at the video game itself. So like if you can't like curse and scream and blame an inanimate object on your own, faults, are you really playing video games?
Well,
because I don't know about you, but when I go online and I play like Call of Duty or something, every time I miss the person, it's not because I'm inaccurate. It's because the game is freaking broken, or it's these these people
That
hacking.
is true.
I might get some
It's
recordings.
factual.
of
These
Jordan
people
on
are
that
always
one.
hacking. It's not my lack of aim or precision. It's everybody else's issue.
all right. Let's ask our guests of honor today. Let's ask these guys of the new cabinets that you did get to see. Which ones didn't you buy? Because I know, Adam, you probably pre-ordered every single one, right?
No, I actually passed on all of them right now. I am
Really?
gonna get Killer Instinct and X-Men for sure. But here's the thing, guys. I already ran into the issue where I got the limited edition Marvel Superheroes one, and then like later on they're like, oh, the X-Men versus Street Fighter, then the Marvel versus Capcom. I'm like, darn it, now I kind of wish I would have waited for those. And then I was like, then they're gonna do Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in a year or two. And so I was just like, I'm just gonna wait. And like, I don't want to get that. I want that Street Fighter 2 Legacy one, and the Tempest one is like the best looking cabinet in my opinion, and that's tempting.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I get the Street Fighter 2 one or the Mortal Kombat one, they're gonna have a better cabinet in a year again, and I'm gonna do this whole cycle again. So I'm just trying to play the waiting game. But X-Men's a for sure buy. So is Killer Instinct. But Tempest is really hard not to want to jump on that one just because it looks so ridiculous. And then you could put a GRS spinner in it.
I
You know what I'm
like
saying?
how he thinks.
Yes.
All right. So Glenn, with that said, I mean, I know you're out of room, but are you going to make room for Tempest at least? Because I know that's your jam.
It is. I may get rid of another one of the cabinets. I mean, I have the 12-in-1 I'll probably keep, and I have an Asteroids as well. So maybe I'll get rid of the Asteroids just because that Tempest cabinet. But see, that's also Dragon's Lair. I suck at Dragon's Lair, but it's such a beautiful cabinet. It's like, how do you not have a cabinet like that just sitting in your game room? Or on your son's bed when he's outside living in the street? How do you not do that?
Guys, do we agree that they need the actual scoreboard on Dragon's Lair,
Yes.
right? Not just
that was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
That they're using the cell phone there, but at least they're giving you in the modders, because the modding community is going to pick up the slack. Especially when you see that New Wave Toys did it in such a beautiful way with theirs, those tiny LEDs on the scoreboard. But again, it was probably a cost issue for them. A New Wave Toys cabinet is this big, so shipping is a lot less than a huge, arcade one-up cabinet. But at least they didn't put just a sticker back there. You could do something.
Yeah. Don't you agree? Honestly, I'd like to ask you guys, would we all pay a little bit more to have the true LED scoreboard in there?
Yes,
Of course.
yes, a
Yeah,
thousand
exactly.
times yes. This is something I'm definitely like still trying to will into the universe, because I don't want to use a cell phone. I've got old cell phones. Yeah, I know it's not a problem of being able to do it or whatever. I just want the actual experience of having an LED scoreboard. I will pay extra for it, but like I mentioned previously, it's like running up to the finish line and stopping short if you're going to do that cell phone thing. Use that idea or technology for a different cabinet. Don't do it on this one.
Yeah, I agree.
I want the scoreboard.
Well, I think everybody.
It is a really big name cabinet too. Like Doug's saying, it's a very big, high profile style cabinet to do that. So I do agree with Doug there. I do.
I think that a lot of people want this Dragon's Lair, even the ones that have got the IRK one or iArcade one. I'm kind of the opposite, because I would actually consider getting Space Ace, actually.
Oh, the different artwork. You
Yeah.
wouldn't be that guy on the unique block.
I would, just because it is unique. I think everybody and their mother's going to get the Dragon's Lair, so why not I be the different guy?
Because it's better.
And I do like the Space Ace. Yeah.
If you're going down that route, Steven, you missed your opportunity for the Supreme Mortal Kombat, because not everybody on the block has that one.
No. I am gonna do Killer Instinct. That's my favorite fighting game of all time. Me and my son play the brand new one on Steam on the Legends So I like that better than Street Fighter, better than Mortal Kombat. So I will get that cabinet. We do have a super chat here from Peter Griffith. Electric Drum says, guys, Outrun cab overheats when on game Outrunners. Only play Outrunners 20 minutes and the back CPU. I did see that they released a stand-up cabinet. I didn't see anything about overheating. Anybody else hear anything about that?
I haven't.
No.
I know they had that firmware update where they gave you Radmobile, wasn't it? Or you got that additional game, but I haven't seen anything about glitches reported from anybody else as far as game breaking, shutdown, overheating type of thing. So that might be something, Peter, that you'll definitely want to open a support ticket on, because that sounds like an issue, like a big one. You might want to get.
He's saying arcade.
Maybe it's just a bad PCB.
He's saying Arcade 1-Up CPU cannot handle Outrunners game. It's a failure. I don't have it. PDubs has it. Maybe we'll have to ask him if he's running into a problem. Yeah, let's bring that up.
Let's have him play for exactly 21 minutes.
That'll be great. We'll just stream it going for 21 minutes, and if it shuts down at the 21 minute
put
mark,
the camera
it's
in front of him while he's like,
it's true.
anyways,
It happened.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it wouldn't be the
That's
first
interesting,
time. He climbed under the table the one time, and the guys held down the fort. So I'm sure he'll go over and turn on one of the cabinets with all of us on there.
Might as well.
Well, so
guys, it's just part of the Arcade 1-Up charm.
So so are you guys going to get the new Pac-Man cabinet, or are you going to get one of the other 25 Pac-Man cabinets that they have? I'm asking for a friend.
I was waiting until the 26th. I was
Well,
like,
well,
as soon as they released
This
the
would be the
26th.
26th one.
Okay,
It's
27th.
the 27th then.
Yeah, I'm at 27th. I'm at 27th. Now I'm still waiting for like I said, because we're now in the point, I think most of us, where you got to be really picky now about your space and not just keep swapping them out. And like I'm there's certain ones that I'm like for sure holding out for, like Simpsons, House of Dead, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I'd probably even get Blitz. Like I mean, I'd probably get a Tron one just because it would look so cool. I don't know, but it'd have to be something really cool. Like the Miss Pac one was already tempting.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of that with Adam and actually being specific about your space and not just buying all of them, I mean, Adam's already left some of them at my house for months at a time. It's like, I got like NBA Jam. We did that video on it, and he was so excited about it. And then it was literally like 2 or 3 months before he took it home. I mean, we live next door, so it's not a big deal. So it was like, if he wanted to play it,
there was this issue with the 500 square foot Mario Kart track in the basement. Anyways,
it is still there.
Anyways,
I'm jealous of that. I want that. That's.
We got another plan that we're very excited about. We'll get into that later. But yeah.
He's putting it on the roof.
Yep.
I told you not to say anything.
With no rails. If you fall, it's just like Rainbow Road. Your car is destroyed.
So one of the gentlemen in the chat here, Mike, he wants to know about. He's excited for your Well Played Toys review, Doug. I'm kind of curious too, because PDubs said it was absolute and utter garbage, except that his wife really liked it. He said it kind of reminded him of a Christmas package that nobody wanted, that turned it into a pinball machine that put Christmas lights on it and gave you a pinball machine.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not for everyone. It's just a matter of like what you want out of your pinball experience. I would equate it to it's like an action figure type of thing. So there's like the Funko Pops, right?
Right.
There's people that absolutely love Funko Pops. They're just, if you don't know what I'm talking about, these things are freaking everywhere. Like, they're $12. They look the part. They serve a purpose, but like there's no articulation or anything. And like, if I want articulation, I go to like a neck of toys. So this and this,
Cobra Kai.
From the outskirts, both serve the same purpose. They're both quote unquote action figures.
Right.
This one has more bells and whistles, articulation things. This one doesn't. Technically speaking, this one's more expensive, but if you go on eBay, this is like $125. So that's kind of crazy. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is like there's different strokes, different folks. Some people literally just want a basic pinball experience. They don't need all the bells and whistles, accelerometers, solenoids, all that thing, the more professional features. And that's okay. And that's something people always need to like keep in mind. Just because it's not something that's appealing to you doesn't mean it's not something that'll appeal to other people.
So what you're saying is, in a
So-
nice way, it's a piece of trash.
No, I enjoy playing it. No, I enjoy the Zaccaria pinball games. It does a good job playing it. Do I wish it had, left and right nudge and a dedicated scoreboard? Absolutely. But that's my opinion coming from a, educated, more professional pinball type of experience. The casual, like my wife's been playing this as a similar to PDubs experience. She doesn't know anything about table nudging. She just knows basic pinball functionality. You got flippers on each side. You got something that makes the ball shoot, and then she had a blast playing it. She doesn't care or know or even care to know about all the. I sat there and tried to explain it to her, and her eyes just kind of rolled in the back of her head. She's like, "All right, shut up, get out of my way, let me play the pinball game." So there's people out there that just want a simple, basic pinball machine, and for those people, there's the Well Played Toys. If you want something that has more advanced features, then there's other alternatives out there. There's something for everybody.
So PDubs,
I have to say this: when you showed them side by side, I thought it was actually cool to see that shot, but it actually looks like at least I'm trying to give it a positive thing here, but it looks like the Well Played actually sits at a good height, though. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like for an adult, like where the pinball flipper buttons rest is like 35 inches. The back box is the tallest out of all of them. So it stands closer, and as far as scale and everything, it is closer to a physical pinball machine. I think it's 85% roughly the scale of a mechanical machine. So it looks the part, so to speak. But again, if you want more professional features, then this is not going to be something that makes you happy, plain and simple.
Yeah.
So PDubs did a super chat, and he states that this is Mythbusters. He goes, yeah. He says Outrunners does not overheat, but it does slow down. Oh, it doesn't overheat and slow down at 20 minutes.
There's two super chats.
Oh, is there another one?
There's two super chats. You see, oh, there's another one.
Oh, wait. Okay, let me get that one pulled up here. Glenn, go ahead. What does it say?
Basically says Outrunners does not slow down at 20 minutes. That's the Mythbusters. And it slows down at 22.5 minutes.
Okay.
My response to you, P-Dubs, is prove it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need a
We'll
video
see
on
you
this
on
now.
the show tonight. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
He's got to
that's
start at
interesting.
9 p.m. and he can sit in the background and play his pinball
Yeah,
or
That's
the
not
driving
good.
game, Outrun, whatever he's playing.
that's not good.
Well, either way, I think we need to get to the bottom of this. So, P-Dubs, do your homework, and while you're watching the show, play it and tell us, because, obviously we want the information out there. People want it, so that'll be a good topic to talk on your show later. If you guys don't know, later on, the 5 of us, along with a bunch of other pro wrestlers, are going to be on
Half the internet.
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
Very accurate. Yeah.
half the YouTube stable, right?
Basically, if you have a YouTube and it even slightly covers video games or arcades,
Yeah.
you're on the stream tonight.
The threshold was really high as far who's going to make it onto the show. I mean, they were extremely selective with that velvet rope.
What I'm trying to figure out is, of all the wrestlers, I have hair. They put me on a bald guy. Glenn doesn't have hair, and they give him hair. Like, I don't understand that.
Hey, I got plenty of hair on my back. Don't be saying that. I got tons of hair on my back.
I was just like, really, guys?
Glenn's got the hair where it counts.
That's it.
That's where you want it in a fight. You want it on your back. Gives you that grip.
Yeah. Oh.
So let's go down this road. Doug, if you guys didn't see on his, I think it was his Instagram and also Facebook, he posted that out of all the new tables that are out there right now, he has like 5 of them. I think he has every single one of them and then some. So, Doug, out of all of those, which one is your favorite to play right now? Let's give us.
You're not going to give me an answer to this.
Give us the order,
yeah, I
because
won't
people inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah. I 100% understand why inquiring minds want to know, and unfortunately I will never answer those questions, because let me break it down for you.
I know
have
there's
zero
something
desire
for
to be-
everyone.
No. Like, I have zero desire to be a YouTube influencer. I don't consider myself an influencer. I consider myself an educator. And hence, when I make my review videos, my job is to educate and inform you of all the products, highlights, features, and give you enough information to where you can make an educated decision based on your own personal thoughts and opinions. I'm not going to tell you what to buy. My opinion on one way or the other shouldn't have any weight to it whatsoever. You should watch something and say, okay, I've gathered enough information. I can make an educated decision, and I can go spend my money accordingly. So my opinion doesn't matter whatsoever, whatever I like the most. So
Okay, so
what would you pick?
what would I pick? I would pick them all, because it's like Pokemon. You must have them all.
So the cop-out answer you gave us. Now, what's the real answer? Give us the one that you play the most.
The one I play the most is a little plastic one that I got for Christmas. It was Batman Returns. It was
nice,
about this long. Had real mechanical flippers, plastic bumpers, real metal pinball. It may have been whoever had the license of Batman Returns in 1994, making these plastic pinball machines that I'm sure my parents bought on an in-flight Delta magazine. Yeah, that was my favorite.
You know what? I can totally understand where Doug's coming from about not trying to influence other people, just giving information and letting the end user make their decision. I do the same thing with these bags you buy and get with your fruit. So I don't want to make you go to a certain store to get the bags for the fruit. You should be able to go to your own store and determine what bag is best to put your consoles in. I don't want to make that decision.
Hey, I'm still waiting for my bag. You didn't ship me my bag yet. You told me
there wasn't one big enough to go over your head. It's got to be big enough to fit over your head. It wasn't big enough.
You told me you were going to get me one for the Legends. You told me you were going to get me one for the other arcades.
We do. You know what? We actually do. These companies should make dust covers for these machines. I mean, I'm freaking out here. I mean, everything else is in bags. My arcade one-up, my Legends are not in the bags, and I'm flipping out over here.
I know it's weird. The stuff that you don't have in bags, it almost looks weird. It's like that's the stuff that looks out of place, not the stuff in the bags, which is very strange.
Blue and coal every night. I got to put them in a bag, and I zip them up in the bags every night when they go to bed.
I believe we call that what Glenn's Museum of Arcades.
Yeah. I'm really surprised Glenn hasn't went the whole 9 yards and went the whole white glove for his unboxing and review videos.
Don't give many ideas.
That's only on the date.
Oh,
can't leave fingerprints.
So before we go any further here and we get any kind of deeper hole than what we're digging right now is what we want to do, and we might do this next week. What we want to do is we want to look at you guys, the community. You guys have been out there. You've been, rooting for us, all of us that are up here. And what we want to do is we want to give you an opportunity. We want to pick like 10 guys or 16 guys, and we want to bring you into a Zoom call and bring you on the show to ask whatever question you want. You can ask Doug which pinball table he likes the most. You can ask him.
He will give you a long-worded bull crap answer that disappoints.
You can ask him what arcade he likes the best and what company he likes the best. Or you can ask Glenn where he gets all those fabulous bags that he has. Either way, what we want to do is we want to open it up to those guys. So if you're interested and you want to be a part of it, send us a message.
Right. We are a community show. We are a community show, and we want to bring you guys and your opinions and your voices, even things you want us to talk about. If you want some special topic you want us to talk about that we haven't covered before, let us know. We'll talk about it.
And we're going to do something really cool. I've been working behind the scenes, and the four guys here, they got a little bit of a sneak peek earlier of something that I'm working on. But I also have another project that I've been working on, and I'm going to give the fan of, I guess you want to say the fan of the week, right, guys? I guess that's what we can say. The fan cam, as Doug called it. It's a camera that we're working on that I'm going to have mounted this week in the studio in the arcade that you guys will see on a separate feed, and one lucky fan will get to control that camera through a web browser. You'll be able to move that camera around. You can zoom in on things that you want to see behind the scenes that you don't normally see during the live broadcast. So you could actually set it side by side and see what I'm doing during the broadcast when these guys are talking. And I don't know. It's just a way that we can engage with you guys. Or if you're kind of curious, I get all questions about the lighting that I use in the arcade. You can zoom in on it and see what it is and see if it's something you want to buy. But that's something we're going to be doing over the next couple weeks and rolling it out, trying to be a little bit innovational. What do you guys, the Complete Geek team, what do you guys think?
About the fan cam?
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's awesome.
before we go into that, I have to say this. Glenn, if you bring a girl over and she says, "Oh my gosh, I love your bags," is that the one? Is she the one that you're putting in the ring?
Oh,
Like,
without question. Or that's a mighty
You
big bag.
immediately put a ring on it, and then you put a bag on that one.
You just get dropped down to the knee with a tear coming down your eye. Anyways,
The ring's wrapped
no,
in
I
a
think
bag.
I think that's awesome, Steven. I think that's really cool.
Well, we're gonna try.
I think what I actually have them do is when they come over, first thing they have to do is they have to put one in each hand, like so. There we go. It's so soft, Glenn. It's so soft.
Oh, dang it! There was a super chat from PDubs. I don't know if you guys saw it.
That was from his wife, Melissa. It was Melissa.
Oh, was it
Yeah.
Melissa? Okay, you
Yeah.
guys. What was it? What was it, Glenn?
I read it real quick. It was basically that she loved something. Here it is. I love the well-played pinball machine. If my husband guts it, he sleeps outside.
Oh,
How many girls are
Strong
trapped
words.
in the basement?
I like Melissa. I like her.
Happy
There we go.
life, happy
Found it.
life, or in this case, life. Period. Otherwise, I don't know how cold's it get in the desert out there in Arizona. It's pretty cold tonight, right?
Scorpions, all right? There's scorpions out there?
Scorpions, rattlesnakes.
He's got Jake.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay, so she likes it. Doug's wife likes it. Maybe it's the chick table. Maybe Glenn. Maybe you need to buy one, Glenn,
hey,
so
that's
you can get.
sexist.
I can line up my driveway with a bunch of those pinball machines and they will come, is what you're saying?
That's what I'm thinking.
That was very sexist, actually. Yeah, Doug's right. That was very sexist of you. Shame on you.
Yeah, you trying to get us canceled?
That does not happen on this show. We don't do that here.
Yeah, that's where we draw the line. Like, we're a-okay with like abducting women and putting plastic bags on them, like Glenn was talking about. But, like,
Yeah, like in Japan, that's like the thing to do. That's like a
But when
hello
you-
in Japan.
Oh,
When you
my.
try to say they all like this one cabinet, that the line
No.
is drawn
The
right
line-
there.
yeah, we gotta. Yeah.
But you know what? My wife has her favorite cabinets too, and they're not really
Which is?
necessarily my cabinets. For that,
I kind of want to hear that too.
Wait, whoa, back up. What's her favorite?
She actually likes my modded cabinet, and she plays Mario Kart on it the whole time. And she told me that I should make just the Mario Kart cabinet.
Interesting.
there you go. Different
Yep.
strokes, different folks. Everybody's
Yeah.
got their own likes and wants and desires.
I would say my wife's favorite cabinet is probably the one in the kitchen with the food.
Ouch!
Pantry.
Wait.
She doesn't.
You
play,
just
she
took it-
doesn't play video games.
You just took it to a whole new level.
Yeah.
We're kidding, folks. We're just completely.
No, I mean that, and like she enjoys food.
Oh, okay. Well,
Are you saying she overeats?
No, not at all.
Hurry,
Oh,
make him backpedal.
Now you're on the spot.
Sorry.
Jordan. No, it's
Sorry,
too late.
I guess I get what you're saying. Where that sounded a little strange. She doesn't play video games or arcade cabinets or
Are you saying
anything.
she's uncoordinated?
She does play Sims.
Actually, she's right
though.
here. Haley.
Yeah. Haley, can you come down here real quick? Haley!
well, while she's coming
She actually
down,
might have- Watch her come down.
Glenn, you have a chat here from Mr. Michael B. It says you need to get a well-played toys game to get the ladies in the house.
I can't. You have to understand. I am Mr. Well Played.
This just
I don't know
got.
what that means, but
I almost
Does that
said
mean you
enough
got
said, but
mileage?
I'm not sure if that is enough said.
This is.
That means the ladies just have to,
push your
well
buttons.
played. Yes, I'm well. Yeah, that's it, Doug. Yeah, I'm well played.
Okay. I'm trying to help you. so many ways to interpret that one.
So anyways, about the Miko.
You know what?
I
When you
you're
talk, before we
excited
talk about
for
that Miko, I'll throw it real quick. I'm really surprised how people have been talking about the Atari VCS. I still think it's a piece of junk, but a lot of people seem to think it's kind of okay. But I think the Amico might be a little bit better. But I'm just really shocked at how well the VCS survived, how bad its launch was over the past 3 years or 2 years, however long it's been.
I'm just amazed it finally came out. Like people, I don't know if everybody got what they ordered, but some people at least did. That's a positive, whether it sucks or not. Can't speak to that because I haven't played it, but I mean the fact that it actually showed up and it wasn't 100% vaporware, that's a good start. I mean it's a very low threshold, but yeah, they're off to a good start. I guess.
It really is to spend. Was it $400 for basically a Linux Windows PC you could have built yourself for $99?
Yeah, that was outdated 2 years ago. Yeah.
But you know what though? John Hancock really had a lot of good things to say about it. Not saying that that's a be-all, end-all, but he's really critical when it comes to certain things. So maybe, Glenn, maybe you want to take a stab at it.
Yeah.
Well, John is a friend of mine, and he's a huge Atari guy. So I can definitely understand. You might have a little rose-colored glasses when it comes to it, because it is an Atari product. And again, it's not horrible. It's just that you could buy an Xbox, and I'm not going to buy an Xbox or PlayStation 12, whatever's out these days. You kids are playing, but just the fact that the price point is anywhere near that with what you get, that should be maybe at most a $199 machine with a controller, not was it $399 without a controller. It just blows my mind that people are like, oh yeah, this is great. I mean, I love Atari too. I love Atari. If Nolan Bushnell was coming right now, I'd be kissing his toes. Probably a little smelly, but I would do it. Nolan, I would do it because I love you. But that console to me, and what they got for the price point, I honestly think people got ripped off for that whole fiasco. They had to come out with something not to get sued to the ground, so they built it. But I just really feel like it was really a letdown. Like the Amico, I think, is a valid, good attempt to try and bring that television name back. The controllers are trying to be innovative. They're trying to get all the ecosystem for the games involved. Atari didn't do any of that. It was the name, and that's what kind of pisses me off in the marketplace when they're using just a name or a product in the past that has a lot like Captain Kennedy with Star Wars. Had to bring that up. I had to. Using Star Wars to get people involved with it, and then you put in poop, and you make people pay for the poop, and then you get mad at people for not liking your poop. It bothers me because this is a history. Video games is a history. It's part of our culture. It started in the 70s. It's bigger than a lot of things, and when something like that comes out, it's a cheap stab, and it honestly it pisses me off. It really does, especially when it comes to them using like Coleco as well. Coleco tried to come out with the Coleco Chameleon. They had the name on that thing. That was a total farce. Stuff like that really gets under my skin, and I feel bad for the people who bought it because they're like, yeah, no, it's not too bad. It may not be too bad, but it's definitely not worth what you paid for it. And you were sold on something else initially, and they just changed the rules as it went along, and then you got what you got. And that
Are you trying to go as far to say that if you got an Atari VCS that you wouldn't put a bag on it?
You know what? I would.
Okay.
Well, yeah, he would buy. Well, wait, he would buy 2 or 3.
I wouldn't buy 5 though. I'd only buy 3.
Yeah, he would buy.
Yeah.
He would buy.
Concessions would be made.
I like Detroit Love's question, by the way, if we want to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was pulling that up. Detroit Love had a really good question. I tried to go down that road, but Doug wouldn't answer the question. So we're going to go back to Doug, and we're going to say we're going to roundtable this without a lot of fluff in it. He'd like to know which cabinet that we all play the most. Roundtable this quickly without drawn out thinking.
So I just need slight clarification. Are we talking arcade, pinball, everything?
Any cabinet. It could be pinball or arcade, I think.
I mean, okay. I probably play my Star Wars modded cabinet the most.
Wait. Star Wars modded with what on it?
So I've got Star Wars Trilogy Arcade and a bajillion other shooters, drivers.
Okay, so it's not just
and
Star
I got
Wars.
Glenn's yoke on there, so
Okay. Just so we're clear. All right, Glenn?
Yep.
It's a tough call, but if I had to pick only one, it would be actually my arcade 1-up Tron modded cabinet. I have my Tron joystick, my spin run, and my trackball. I have all the games. I have a PC in there, So for me, that'd be the most. My second one probably would be my modded Star Wars one, like Doug.
All right, Jordan?
If we're talking about ones we actually have,
Yes.
Where you can't play the ones you don't have.
well, I'm considering yours too. Again, we live next door, so it's not really that hard to just walk over there.
Okay. All right, so you can count that. Then.
I'd say probably like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, something. I like the fighters. If we're talking about if I went to an actual arcade, I always gravitate towards like the House of the Dead or like Time Crisis or one of the like
good
shooting games, But
yeah, mine's a mixture between Street Fighter or the Marvel Superheroes one. My actual favorite right now is the Ninja Turtles, though.
So I'm
that makes sense.
I'm the different one. I've really been playing pinball a lot. I got to go with the AT games, but it depends on the day because there's days where I'm on the iArcade because I like beach buggy racing. So I've kind of been. It really depends on the day. That's a trick question, man.
Yeah, mine's coming at the end of the month, so I'll have my iArcade here soon. So,
Nice.
Which one you go with?
We'll review it, but I'm like actually excited to finally play it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Which one did you get?
Which one did you go with? Did you go with standard?
I got to give it a
Dragon's
shout
Lair,
out to Jong as well on this because I initially, maybe I shouldn't be saying all this, but I initially pre-ordered first I had the original, then they announced the Black Edition. I switched it to the Black Edition. And then like when I saw the Black Edition, when I saw that the marquee was like actually a sticker, or I shouldn't call it a sticker, but you know what I'm saying, decal, and then there's a decal on the control deck. I was like, I kind of want the Dragon's Lair that it's not an actual decal. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Even though I still want to light up marquee, I just thought the Dragon's Lair looked more clean. So even though I still may get a Dragon's Lair cabinet on top of that, I just reached out to them and asked if I could switch it after like the stuff was over with, and they said that was no problem, which was super nice of them. So
John has the customer support. Baby.
after all that, yeah, he's amazing customer support. But after all that, yes, I'm getting the Dragon's Lair one. So
Nice.
So Mr. Chip in the chat room, he says it can't be a trick question when you're the one asking the question. I actually didn't ask the question. Detroit Love, Carl asked the question about.
You presented.
I
the
presented
question,
it,
though.
yeah.
Detroit Love posted the question, but you actually read the question.
All right,
You actually.
don't get
said it,
technical
so.
here.
It's a trap.
Right there's the question that was posed, and there we go, Mr. Chip.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean. I really depends on the day because there's days where I can't play pinball to save my life. I don't know if you guys are like that, but there's days where it's just like it just don't work. And then
there's a couple of times I've been chasing pinball high scores, and I, feverishly spent 45 minutes to an hour trying to do something, and just finally threw my hands up in the air, walked away, came back the next day, and got it like on the first try. Sometimes luck is on your side, sometimes it's not.
But
I mean. I'm pretty terrible at pinball sometimes, but it's still fun to play. And sometimes like when you lose, it just like frustrates you more. You're like, I gotta try this again. Like,
Exactly.
That's how they get you.
Mm-hmm.
What gets me sometimes in pinball, you launch the ball and you don't hit it all, goes right down the center, and you launch the next ball, it goes right down the center again. Like, what? How is that possible?
It's rigged. I'm telling you, it's the game's fault. It's never your fault. It's the game. It's rigged.
Doug, not to put you on the spot here, I'm just curious if you can answer this question. Which one feels like a more authentic pinball experience?
out of wait. Out of all his
which one feels more realistic?
His 5 tables that he has? Realistic? So Doug, out of the 5 tables.
Yes. Can you answer that? If not, that's okay.
Yeah, so I will tell you the arcade one-up solenoids give me the most realistic feedback out of everything.
Nice.
That's kind of what
I
I thought.
he was edging that one. He was being very careful how he was answering that one. Notice that
because people like to like twist and say, "Oh my God, look."
Doug
they all
said he
play.
hates this cabinet.
They all play well. I've always said I'm Sweden. I like all these companies. I like to support all these companies. I'm not one side or the other. I live in, I have 5, 6, 7, 8 feet planted in everybody's sandbox. I was born an octopus and I'll die an octopus.
Except Brad doesn't think so. Brad says more
That's the thing. Because like I 100% get why people want me to like make a definite answer for them, but like you shouldn't have people telling you what to buy. It's that simple. If someone's telling you specifically you should buy this, it's because they have either some sort of stake in it, whether they're getting financial compensation from one of the companies or another, or they're working some kind of weird agenda, like maybe they hate one of these companies and there's some back end deal where somebody screwed them over and they're trying to really make one of these companies seem brighter than the other because they've got a personal vendetta against
Wait. Are you saying that there's people on YouTube that actually do this? No, get out of here.
I know it's a foreign concept. I really
I've never saw somebody on YouTube
catching people by surprise left and right.
I've never seen anybody on YouTube take a product and throw it in a swimming pool or anything like that and trash a company. Never.
No, I come from I I worked in high-end audio and home theater for 17 years and do mini setups for people. And like top question I get asked all the time is, well, which speaker do you think sounds the best? And I'm just like, I mean, I like this one. That doesn't mean you are gonna like that one.
That's right.
Exactly. Everyone's got a different preference.
Everyone's ears are different, just like
That's right.
everyone's opinions.
And your room has a big effect on
When
that
it
too.
comes
when
to
it-
hamburger, White Castle is just the best. Okay.
Oh man,
The-
Jordan
Those are
loves it.
sliders, hamburgers.
But you know what, Doug? Brad says it's okay. It's tough to be an influencer.
Well, the thing is that I never liked that term anyway.
I don't
like Doug's
either.
right. You shouldn't be influencing other people. You should simply be giving, showing the product off, and it's always subjective. What I like
For sure.
is obviously not everything Doug will like. He's not always right, obviously. So if you went with me, it would be. But it's everyone is different. Some people are going to like a particular product more than other people. I like Hyundai. I have a Hyundai car. I've had great luck with Hyundai cars. I have a Hyundai. Some people think it's garbage. Some people rather have a BMW or a Mercedes. It's totally subjective to the individual. However, Doug does a very good job, and these other guys do. I do a crappy job of this, but you guys do a great job of just showcasing the product and talking about its features, and that's what you do. Then it's up to the individual saying, you know what, hey, that's for me.
So,
Exactly.
I mean,
Brought to you by Glenn's Retro Show products, spinner, trackball.
well, that's what I was gonna say. So do you think then that do you think that the Glenn's Retro Show yoke is better than the arcade one up?
I've said, and even in my own videos, that I was really blown away when I went to New York City and I saw that thing for the first time. I still am incredibly impressed with that entire Star Wars cabinet for the price point. He blew me away. And David was right in front of me. I'm like, David, this is pretty good. We're making one anyway, but this is really good. We almost, to be honest, we almost stopped making ours because we're looking at them like, it really doesn't need to be replaced. But then we started thinking internally, it's more than just for the arcade one-up. As for other things too, the original machine or people want to do their own mods, but they did a really nice job with it. So I can't talk bad about that. That Star Wars cabinet, to me, still to this day, is like their best cabinet that they built. And if you guys have not experienced it, you should.
Yeah, I agree.
So let me address this one here. Confirmed. He says TechBuzz will never say anything bad about At Games. That is not true. I've said plenty of bad things about them during Legend Center. If you didn't hear me, go back and watch it.
Mode.
Oh yes. Don't even get me started on jukebox mode. That's just the epitome of disaster.
I want to pet the Pez mode. I want it to pop out some Pez candies when you play.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, every company has their flaws. I'm not gonna, I think we'd all agree with that. But you can't not buy from a company just because of minor flaws. Like, there's so many people I've seen with Arcade One Up, like, oh, this is scratched or this is dinged and stuff. I've never. I mean, you get it. You just expect things like that to, to be bad, right?
Everyone has different perceptions and expectations of how far their dollar should go. Like I'd be willing to bet everybody on this panel tonight would probably say, hey, Lamborghini and Ferrari, they're good cars, but they're crazy expensive.
Heck
Then
yeah.
again, they're also not targeted for us. Price is
Right.
subjective. What we get for our dollar is subjective as well. Like for me or you, if we get a little nick, scratch or something on our side panel of our arcade one up, we're probably not going to care. The average person, probably the same case, but there will be people out there that, want it pristine, mint condition, nothing, not even, a smudge, a fingerprint, anything on it whatsoever, expectations right out of the box. And that's not to say that's an unrealistic expectation, but it's going to be something that varies from company to company and product to product as far as what people are going to actually get and what people are going to actually expect for what they paid for.
No,
Well,
I
I
agree
think with that being said, I mean, you're right, things do happen, but I do think when people buy a product, they do expect the product to be pristine. But quality, there's issues with quality control has to be adjusted. And actually, I was talking to, oh my God, I was talking to somebody. I can't think of it. I can't forget about it.
His name was Gerald.
When
Gerald.
you get old, this is what happens. Now I was talking to oh God, Tastemakers
Gerald
CEO,
Finnegan.
Scott.
Baccarat. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm working way too many hours in the office. So I was talking to Scott, and he's aware that there's still a ways to go with the quality control. But he's serious. He wants to get that fixed. But I do think when you buy a product, no matter what it is, whether it be $2 or a Lamborghini $100,000, when you buy something new, it should be pretty much pristine. I mean, if you scratch it when you take out the box, that's on you. But when you buy something, it should be that way. You should have the expectation of like, oh, that's a little thing in there. I'll live with it. I mean, you shouldn't have to. You should not have to do that. When you buy a phone, you buy, I don't know, a Jack Specific joystick in a bag like this, you should have it in the condition that it's presented as. I mean, if you like, New Wave Toys has Asteroids. They had two versions. They had the regular version, then they had the one that was literally supposed to be beat up. So if you wanted the beat up one, you'd buy that one. When I buy something, I do want it to be pristine. I do want to be the first person to put that first scratch on it. That's why when I park my car, right, it's like 5 miles away uphill, and I run bubble wrap around it, because I do want my stuff to stay looking nice as long as possible. So I can't really fault people when they get something and take out of the box and you see that nothing's wrong with the box, but something's not right inside. I can feel for them. I really can. But I will say that Scott really, honestly takes it to heart. He really wants to get this fixed. He said he's going to work on it. He's going to get back to me and we'll kind of talk and brainstorm a little bit about it. But I want to let you guys know that Scott is really serious. He really wants to make sure that when you buy an Arcade 1-Up, it's not just because you're buying the game or the license, but you're buying because it's going to be a quality product.
But
he really is strong.
I agree with Michael B, the Game Genie, and I guess I asked the question here: at what point do we hold the shipping companies responsible for some of the damage? I mean, I've seen boxes destroyed. I've seen people throwing the arcades out of the FedEx truck. You know, I watched a guy drag Buck Hunter down my driveway, drag it up the stairs, and slam it down on the ground. Now they did get better with their packing, I will say that, but I'm like, dear God, this thing ain't gonna work. I might as well tell the guy to wait a little bit, and I'm gonna check the monitor and make sure it works, right?
Right.
And as far as like doing reviews on YouTube or something about products as well, I mean, just our last video, the statue that came with the Streets of Rage Collector's Edition, when we had first done the video before we edited it, Adam was like, "Oh, there's a paint chip here, and like it's been scratched off on
paint missing."
And like we thought there was like a defect on like part of the statue, and like after we had finished the video, and Adam's like packing it back up, and he rubbed his finger on it, and it was just dust from the styrofoam, but it
actually
looked,
you know, the old
but it looked like the paint had like come off and it had like gotten chipped, and he like rubbed it off and it was fine, and we went back and we cut that part out when we were talking about, well, you see this, because we were like, okay, well, we're not going to show something wrong when clearly there was nothing wrong. Like, I feel like a lot of times, because, you know, you see on YouTube, people unbox it at that moment, and it's like, look at this, you know, and it may have just been an overlook. I mean, sometimes things get damaged.
I got to point
shipping,
this out,
you
though,
know,
too. From coming from a company that ships stuff off all over, and then you hear about people with shipping damage, there's two things going on there, though. Yes, the shipping company, but when people are signing for that stuff too, they're supposed to look over it, sign for it, and if they're just saying that's okay and accepting that stuff too, that's another problem in itself. But anyways,
well, most of these things though are dropped off before they even come home. I mean, I have Cliff Clavin. I mean, I don't care if they're listening around here, but I have Cliff Clavin. It can be raining, torrential downpour. They'll put the cardboard box like right in the middle of the driveway in the rain, where my porch is literally right here, but they put it right here. So stuff like that, when you're at home and they drop it off, especially if it's a big Arcade 1-Up or an At Games Legends cabinet, you don't sign for it. It's too late. I've actually gone to the post office after the fact with pictures saying, here, you see this water coming out of this box? It's because your guy left it literally in the rain. And they're like, yeah.
To be clear, when I'm saying sign, I don't mean us accepting it. I'm talking about like Walmart accepting it.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah. Well,
and Glenn, I think the post office probably has that reaction because they're like, well, we assumed you would put a bag on it and it would be waterproof. So.
But you know what? It's true. A lot of these guys in the chat room, and Kevin here, I'm going to pull up his comment here. He said, you know, he's never signed for an Arcade 1-Up, and I'll be honest, I didn't sign for Buck Hunter or any of the other cabinets that I ordered online. They just show up and throw them on my door or lean them against the garage door. But they'll make me sign for a stupid little chipboard that came from China. Like, I don't understand that. Like, because somebody's going to steal it because they know what to do with it.
Because you got to get the COVID pen.
All right.
COVID pen.
Yep.
Oh, man, that's terrible.
I mean, in terms of QC, I mean, obviously everyone's got different opinions of what's acceptable and what's not. In my eyes, a nick or a scratch is acceptable. What isn't acceptable is like the low-hanging fruit issues, like Galaga having the fire button on the wrong side of the Super Pac-Man cabinet.
Yep.
You know, issues with Miss Pac-Man cocktail cabinet getting a firmware update where everything was turned horizontally as opposed to vertically. Things like that. That's the stuff that, you know, should never have, you know, hit market, should have never got out. I'm okay with the little nicks and scratches. Obviously, other people aren't going to be okay with that. You know, that to each their own. There's nothing right or wrong to say that. What I definitely want to see, though, is the low-hanging fruit stuff get nipped in the butt well before it ever gets to consumer. Because this point in the game, so to speak, Arcade 1-Up, for you know, lack of a better term, in my opinion, is still the kind of the king of the hill as far as brand recognition and market, you know, space. So I think, you know, we should hold them to a higher standard because of that, and therefore they should really, you know, get that stuff shored up and just, you know, make sure it doesn't happen again. Because I think there was, I trying to think it off the top of my head, but I think they had 5 specific, we'll call them issues, where they had to have firmware adjustments and updates on cabinets in the year 2020. Did they release what, 20 plus cabinets? So you do, you know, percentage ratio on that. That's not a good percent, at least not in my eyes, as far as a failure rate.
But you know what? I know what happened. I know what happened with these firmware upgrades. It was Friday at 3:00, and John D was like, "We need to get these on the truck." And the workers were like, "Yeah, boss, okay, we'll get them." And they were like, "I think this is wrong." Send it. We didn't test it. That's right, send it. And yeah, they went home for the weekend, and then John had a fit Monday morning. I'm joking, of course, but those things happen, guys. I mean, it's
100%.
It
People
happens.
tried. I mean, there's lines in the sand, you know, everyone's work day where something has to get pushed until Monday or whatever, or something has to go out the door. We've probably all experienced that in our day-to-day work life, where somebody just said, just let it go, get it out there. That's Monday's problem, or, you know, we'll fix it in post, so to speak. That happens. Should it happen? Probably not. In the end, I think it does more harm than good most of the time. I think like the pinball is a prime example of that. Is it delayed right now, or has it been delayed? Yes. But was it for the greater good? Also yes, because I think if you released it early in time for that Christmas, you know, hit, and then you got all these people that left their pinball machine on for 8 hours and it fried or froze or hung up or whatever. So I think overall people would be better suited, and the companies would be better suited to make sure everything gets tested properly, thoroughly, and you know, don't worry so much about release dates. Worry so much about the end result being as pristine and perfect as you possibly can get it.
And I agree. You guys, quality. You should hold every company.
Yeah,
at games,
Arcade 1, everybody should be held to the same standard.
I'm not trying to even defend them, but I will say this, because like my Mortal Kombat cabinet had issues, my Street Fighter cabinet had issues, my Golden Tee cabinet had issues. Like, I'm talking about where the screen had lines through it. Then my Mortal Kombat stick doesn't work. Same with my Street Fighter one. This isn't like after the fact either. And I don't know how anybody else feels. We can totally get into this though, but I'm personally one of those people that would almost even rather pay extra to have some Sandwa or Hap sticks in there, because, you know, people are. I have to imagine we're all in the same boat. We're not trying to get these to keep them for 2 years and then just sell them all off. Like, it's a cool piece that I want it to last, just like a real arcade cabinet would.
Hold on a second. Stop right there. Yep. I have to look that up. Sell. What? That wasn't even a vocabulary until a second ago. Sell them. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Now, you can obviously put that in yourself, but I'm just one of those people that's like, I'd rather just pay. Like, for instance, I'm just throwing this out there. I've heard this discussion. My limited edition Marvel Superheroes ones was $3.99, and they came with the Sandwall sticks and buttons. Am I the only one that rather pay $3.99 and have that than get the stool and then the light up deck protector and that stuff with it?
Yeah.
Like, but have a lot still.
I mean, you're definitely not, but that's the problem with that, is like Arcade 1-Up has to serve different customer bases. There's the people that are the casual person that's just strolling through Walmart that hasn't played one of these games since they were a child, doesn't know or care about sufficient, you know, details, joysticks. None of that's important to them because they don't even know the difference. They've got to be able to cater to that person while simultaneously catering to the crazies like us that want all the most premium features and all the bells and whistles possible and the most accurate things, you know, recreated to spectacular fashion. So they have to do this crazy balancing thing, and all the other companies have to kind of do the same thing and follow suit. So it's like, well, how do you do that? Do you do an a la carte type of thing where people order a cabinet and then add on premium parts additionally, but then again, that adds to your manufacturing process and slows down. So much more work. So really, realistically, you just kind of have to like draw a line in the sand and say, okay, if people really want that, they'll either A, have to buy in this premium special edition cabinet that will make in a limited run, or they'll just have to lean on the modding community and do it themselves, similar to how anybody would like buy a sports car and put, you know, new engine parts on it or wheels and tires. You know, sure, there are options, but you know, there's limited options of what they can do as far as manufacturing. That way they can cover as much broad a spectrum as possible.
Is it, so with saying that, the cabinet he got though with the Sandwall, wasn't that a special order right from the Arcade One website?
It was, yeah.
Right, so they could still do the regular cabinets and or these premium build ones, because they sold out quick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
they could do that. And you know what? No one's gonna Arcade One Up, John D, Scott, whose name I forgot before. Really sorry, Scott. They listen to you guys, so I'm sure that will be happening again. But like Doug said as well, when you go into the store, there's a certain price point where Walmart is not going to go above. And they want that product to move. Same with Sam's Club or wherever. So they have to make sure those machines will fit in that price point. But then that's where the modding community comes in, right? So and it's not difficult to do. I mean, pretty much anyone can take a screwdriver and unscrew a joystick and pull the wires off. And if you can,
you say that, but there's
if you can't, my God, come on. Really?
If you can't, there's a thing called YouTube. You can figure it out too.
There is.
What's YouTube?
Well, okay.
There's still people out there rocking that double-sided film on their protective covers. So
do you guys think that some of the things that they're bringing, like I know Jordan, Adam, you mentioned about the stool. Do you think Arcade One Up is getting a little gimmicky with like the light up deck protectors, and now they're starting to do panels? Like I get it. There's like Doug, you said, there's something for everybody. It's just not for me. But do you think it's kind of gimmicky to raise that price?
No, I mean, I kind of do. Like once again, it's just like we all say, it's different strokes, different folks. But like, for me, I want something to look as authentic as possible. That's kind of the point for me for Arcade One Ups, is to try it. Like I like where they're going, like with Killer Instinct. Yeah, trying to make it look authentic as possible. But I mean, at the same time, like I'm one of those people that's just rather not get a stool. I rather like
because Adam really cares about keeping the stool.
Yeah,
the Arcade One Up cabinet went back home, but the stool didn't.
Not to say that we shouldn't have stools. That'd be cool if they sold that as a separate piece. My point is, I'd rather have like the better sticks, better buttons, better screen, better speakers, and it run as true as a real arcade as possible. And I'd rather even pay the extra for that. But like I said, that $399 price that we did for that, I thought was a steal. And I understand if it was at a retailer, probably $499. But I meant if Arcade One Up did that through their website, we could talk all day about this. I mean, there's just things like that we all want it as authentic as possible. And like every time I hear them, like, I just wish you guys would put just a little bit sticks and buttons in there. Like, how long are these actually going to hold up? Even the ones that are holding up now.
Right. No, I agree with that.
I mean, to that, different strokes, different folks. The reason we're seeing a lot of these, as Stephen called it, gimmicky features is not so much as us being the different, folks. It's the retailers. They want something different. They don't all want to be selling the exact same SKU. And that's, as frustrating as it is for some of these consumers to find out, hey, this new version came out that has more features than the one you just bought or whatever. From a retailer's perspective, if you put yourself in their shoes, they don't want to be selling the same machine as the guy across the street, because there's no way to compete in that spectrum. They're all kind of, locked in on that same MSRP. So the only way that they can actually, gain a sale over the other guy would be to cut their profit margin, which is not something retailers want to do, voluntarily. So that's why you're seeing a lot of these new gimmicks and features, is because these retailers want something slightly different than the guy across the street.
Yeah. Another thing to mention real quick is Nikki Z in the chat actually said, I would rather upgrade my joysticks and buttons on my own to my own preferences, not the company. So there's two sides of every coin.
Yep. Because as you talked about Sanwa, I'm a HAP and industrial Lorenzo guy. Like I'm a that kind of joystick and button person. I could care less about Sanwa. I know that's kind of like where most people lean, but I go back to the old school 90s HAP IL joysticks, Euro joysticks, things like that, as far and buttons too. That's my personal preference. So if I saw Sanwas in there, I'd probably take them out.
I still want to switch them. Yeah, no, I get it. I guess that's the point though I'm trying to make though. It's like maybe I think we all want to light up marquees, the majority of us, right? We were all kind of cool with the risers, but
that's
I think
what Angel's for, man. That's why Angel's here to help us out.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
it was a fantastic job.
Because the light up marquees look great on video.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, yeah, like I said, we can go on and on about that. I did want to bring this up though real quick, guys, because I wanted to talk about when we're talking about Buck Hunter. I've seen so many reviews on that now, and Doug did a fantastic job on that too. But when I see like people playing 2-player on that thing, it like really opened my eyes to about how like I'm really hoping that they put a bigger monitor in like a House of a Dead one, because I really want a House of a Dead cabinet, and I just feel like playing 2 players on that thing.
Well, wait a second.
I don't know.
To be fair, and I know Doug, you said you had to point down on it, but I found with my son, I'm 6'2" as well. If you stay within 15 inches of that screen, it's the best. The further back you stand, it's almost like shooting a shotgun because all the pellets just gotta go. You don't make an accurate shot if you stand. If you want to stand back the length of that cable, forget it. You're not going to hit the broadside of a barn. It's just not going to work. It seems to work the best about a foot to about 15 inches. Wouldn't you say, Doug?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the closer, the more precise you're going to be, but you give up, some of your playing space, so to speak, and depending on your height, you're going to have to angle your gun accordingly. I've been, for the most part, sitting in a chair that gives me that straight on perspective, and I can, get as close or as far as I want. My wife, I had her playing some of the bonus games with me, and that was an interesting experience because we kind of had to fan out,
Yep, that's what we do.
Come at it like a V, and that kind of throws your trajectory of your aim off because you're aiming at an angle. So yeah, 100%. Like I love the machine, but as we've all, kind of vehemently said about a lot of these machines, we want to see bigger screens overall. Shooting games specifically need, in my opinion, bigger screens, more real estate. So,
and let's
take it for what it's worth.
Let's give real quick. I see him here in the chat room because I know Glenn mentioned this earlier. Mr. Kongs R Us. Glenn really loved your wife's video. I think we've all just watched it. So kudos to you on that.
It's on replay constantly in my house. It's constant replay, just in loop, just going and going.
So we do want to give you a plug on that one. Hey guys, also let you know we're gonna have to wrap this up here. But coming up at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're actually going to do a Royal Rumble. I don't know. We're going over to PDubs channel. Yeah, we're all gonna. The whole panel here is going over with Rexer, Nostalgia, Michael B. the Game Genie, Detroit Love, PDubs, and I think let's see here. I think it's Nostalgia's cousin. So there's like 11 of us, and then
Ricky.
Ricky, yeah. I don't know. I guess I don't know what his name is. These guys will be with us. We're gonna have a slobber knocker. I had to say it. The good old JR, right? We're gonna have a slobber knocker of a good
and you're still upset with your presentation on the thumbnail. I recall.
Okay. So let's talk about that for a second here. If you guys didn't see the thumbnail, I have a good head of hair. What do? They put me on Earthquake's body. I'm as thin can be. Okay? So I'm not fat and I'm not bald, but they put me on Earthquake. So here's the kicker. This guy is bald, and they put him on.
I got a beautiful locks under his head of hair. Like Doug, I have to keep it covered. Doug does it. I got to do it.
They put him on, I forget who they put him on, but he had a lot. He got, what was it, like Brian Pillman or something from the Royal Rumble era. And I'm like, really? And I think PDubs did that on purpose. So the next time he's on this show, we're going to find, what's the name of the turd from South Park?
Mr. Hanky?
Mr. Hanky.
We're going to put PDubs. We are going to put PDubs on Mr. Hanky when he's on the show next. That's what we're going to do. And that's for you.
Be Earthquake.
Yeah.
We
could potentially, catch up with them because we will be seeing those guys in a squared circle atmosphere later on.
Well, you know,
We're going to be this big. We're going to each be like 2 centimeters tall. There's so many people on this stream. We're all going to be that big.
Yeah.
well, and I'm still working. I'm trying to talk with Michael over at Retromania to see if we can have like an Easter egg where we can attack the Super Game Room dudes with a chair. And I even told him Glenn was okay if we used him as a bat, so we could pick
Yeah,
Glenn up,
use
Doug,
him
and
as the
just like,
chair. We'll
right.
fold him up,
Oh, yeah.
swing him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
So
great.
so we're working on it, folks. We're working on it. Send in your mail to Michael over at Retromania. Tell him that you want us to use Glenn as a bat to attack the Super Game Room dudes. You know what they could do? They could do a death match. Don't call it celebrity. Call it YouTube death match. It would be
Oh
the
my,
Super
this
Game Room dudes
escalated
versus
very
us.
quickly.
Yes. I think it would be fun. Anyways, that's at 9 o'clock Eastern. We got to let you guys go. Next week, though, we may be doing the show Thursday. I haven't talked to my guests here. I have something going on Friday night, so we may have to move it to Thursday. We'll let you guys know as long as my co-hosts can make it Thursday night. But it looks like it might be Thursday. Guys, does that work for you?
Yes.
Glenn, does that work for
Now that
you?
you just put me on the spot.
Let me wait. I got to look through my schedule, see if I'm free. Yeah, I'm not doing it.
All right, so next Thursday we're going to do it, and we're going to have some roundtable. Sorry, guys, I know it was kind of last notice. I just got some information today, so won't be here next Friday, but we'll be here Thursday because we want to keep the show going. So we'll be back there. Wait, PDubs. Oh, he was still around. I didn't even know if he was around.
Oh, you know you're going to leave. He's there.
So we'll show this real quick. He says, "I love you too."
That was really from Melissa, I bet.
I think it was too, because she's probably like, yes, do it. So, anyways, guys, tune in 9 o'clock on any of those guys' channels.
Oh!
We'll be there.
Steven, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
go ahead.
A person reminded me here. Thursday's my getting the bags night at the store.
Well, make sure you bring enough for everyone.
Let's be honest. Every night is you're getting the bags night at the store.
As you can see, our stuff is not bagged up, Glenn. So
I know Glenn's probably like.
What do you do? Wait, before we end the show. So how do you dust? I mean, what do you do? How do you keep them clean?
No comment.
Leave that to the imagination.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate dust.
What about
Is
bag
it like
scratches?
sand? Is it coarse and it gets everywhere?
I don't like dust. It
Yeah,
gets everywhere.
but what
I
about
know we need to go. There's this product that they showed on Shark Tank where you drive your car into a bag, like to keep your car. I like totally see Glenn having that.
Not to say anything there, but when I had my beautiful 1990 Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX Turbo all-wheel drive, which I love that car. I saw the cops, unfortunately. I had the car cover. I have one of those nice car covers, put around every night. Put it on top.
Well,
There you go.
well, I
True
think
story.
Well, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap this up here, and
Oh, wrap it up! I got bags right here.
I know. So guys, make sure you tune in next Thursday. That's when we're gonna do it here for the Retro Buzz. We have a great time. We want to thank our guests of honor here. We had the Complete Geek TV crew. Guys, what video are you working on this week?
We're doing a couple things this week, actually.
The one that we're getting out first is, I mean, it's hard to explain, to be completely honest with you. It's basically just showing how to use your PS5 on third-party devices, basically.
And there's actually an app developer that makes a PS5 remote play app to work with third-party stuff, and he's actually talked to us and he said he'd even feature the video on the actual app page in the App Store. So that'll be kind of cool. It's almost as like do you want to see how this works? Click here. So that we thought that was pretty sweet. So we're trying to make sure that's extremely thorough and well done, and like really show how to make it work. I mean, we'll still try to be fun with it, like we try to be with all of our videos, but we want to make sure it's actually like informative too. So we're trying to take some time with that one.
Well, make sure you guys head on over to youtube.com/CompleteGeekTV. Give them a subscribe. Go watch their videos. Always high quality. We really appreciate you guys jumping on with us here.
No, we appreciate you
it was
guys.
fun.
Thanks for having us as always.
And also this guy, he won't plug himself, so I'll plug for him. YouTube.com/CoolToy. Make sure you guys go subscribe if you've been living under a rock. Doug, do you have any cool videos that you're bringing out that everybody needs to check out this week?
No, cancel Cool Toy.
What are we going to spend our money on this week?
Gotta be
I
something.
don't know. You'll have to make an educated guess.
Oh.
An educated decision based on information and facts presented to you.
I was actually gonna say earlier, Doug, like, I know that you said you don't consider yourself an influencer and you don't want to force anyone to buy a certain thing, but like, you do such a good job at giving the correct information and doing it well that every time I watch your video, I'm like, I need that. I think I need that.
I told you. He spends our money. This guy here. Anyways, guys, go check it out. He's always doing some cool videos, no pun intended. YouTube.com/CoolToy. And also, Mr. Glenn Planamento. Make sure you head over to YouTube.com/GPlanamento. Glenn actually has a few videos that came out in the last.
I do. I'm not like Doug. He doesn't self-promote. That's all I do is self-promote. That's all I am. But, you know, the main job that pays the bills has been very busy as of late. So I'm still working on my version 3 trackball video. I hope to get it out this weekend. And I have another thing that'll be probably maybe the following week. I have another product coming out. Wonder what it's going to be. Let's wait and see.
Well, we're looking forward to it. But again, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope you guys decide to come back next week. We're going to have some fun. A lot of more surprises here, as we always do here on the Retro Buzz. See you next time.